Alright guys, this is Dunk again. How's your day? Mine's great because I have a lot of Death's Breath now. I can farm them at a rate of above 900 to 1000 per hour. And this is with this spec, with a small little supernova that is running around here. It looks like the standard flash build that Quinn is using, for example, with Firebird free piece in, but it is not. And I don't really see the reason to use Firebird added in the spec for Torment 10 because everything is just dying to that small supernova here. That glowing little supernova here. I love that. Okay, and the spec, as you can see, this is wonderful, of course. This is within Geom, of course. This is Tarasha, of course. But it is also the Sage set inside, and you don't lose any efficiency. And you're still moving like a fire flash through the area. And everything you touch is dying. This now is with Power Pylon active. But now the Power Pylon is off, there's an Elite, and the Elite is gone. Just like that. And it goes like that forever. And you can run around, everything that touches you dies instantly. Elites die, Rift Guardians die, and it's really amazing. The power of that spec, the power of the combination of Ingeon and Wand of Woe, especially the new Wand of Woe, that's just stupid. It's I think I missed words to explain that power. Like here, this was a Rift Guardian. Was it? Oh, barely noticed. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm running around, going away from the Rift Guardian. You can even see the star on the ground. This is because this spec doesn't have any ways to be immune against crowd control effects, and that also means that you cannot teleport out whenever you like. So you have to kill all those stupid stragglers that attack you for no damage, and then you can't teleport. This is a little bit of a gameplay flaw, I think, but yeah, that's what you do. And in this case, I ran around killing those stragglers and actually found some more elites. And after that, you can teleport out. And then comes a part that you should do when you want to have maximum efficiency. You go, click Auric, salvage blue and yellow items, and go back in. And that's because why would you wait 20 seconds or more in town? It makes no sense. Just go in, try to find some more elites and kill them. After all, you're there to farm Death's Breath. So why not? This was free Death's Breath already, and here's another elite. Let's see how many this is. Free again, 6 Death's Breath for free, just for free. Why not? I think that's a good option. Alright, so this spec is amazing, it's fun, it's fast, it's highly efficient, but don't get confused by those numbers that some people are showing you with the Death's Breath count that they get. Some people claim they do like 900 Death's Breath per hour without Sage set equipped, and I claim that this is impossible. And I think I know why those people are posting those numbers. That's because they are ignoring the waiting time in town. Many people are waiting in town, and you have the teleport time, you have the wait time in town, you always have that, and from time to time you have to spend the 30 seconds in town to identify and salvage legendaries and stuff. And so ultimately this reduces your real-time efficiency. But there is a tool, that shows you a session time, and the session time actually ignores this time. It ignores the time that you spend in town for the calculations. And that means when you look there and 1 hour is over, it's easy to find 900 Death's Breath in your inventory, but you didn't really play 1 hour. You played probably more like 1 hour and 10 minutes or even more. And so I say this spec here can't be beaten. You can't get more Death's Breath than that. Just moving around as a supernova, smashing anything that you find. And when I do this with the session time, my peak was actually at above 1,200 Death's Breath per hour. Just for a little ballpark that you can see here. Alright, I leave the gameplay part now for that. And let's go to the build itself, which is here, that little mage here. It's the Tarasha, as you have seen. It's Wand of Woe, as you have seen. But let's go stepwise. Main item is the Wand of Woe, of course. This is a non-ancient with the lowest possible damage increase to Explosive Blast. So this item is basically garbage because it's non-ancient and has a shitty roll of Explosive Blast damage. And still, you have seen what it is able to do. And it is better than even the best ancient pre-patch Wand of Woe that you could think of. This is not the best, of course. It's good because it has maximum damage roll and arc area damage. But still, no way. This one here, plus 13.3% damage, it's way weaker than the non-ancient I have. So, since it's very rare, and it's even rarer to get a ancient one, it doesn't matter for that spec. You can use any Wand of Woe that you find. Okay, the offhand is the Orb of Infinite Depth. Those two, they basically belong together because for each time you hit an enemy with Explosive Blast, you get a stack of damage and damage reduction, stacking up to 4 times, perfect with Explosive Blast. Yeah, other items, Tarasha, I have the helm here. Non-ancient, you want an ancient with basically same rolls. And no meteor damage. You don't need meteor damage. It's basically a wasted skill, wasted primary skill slot when you use meteor damage here, because the meteors usually they don't even reach the ground before the targets are dead. So no need for meteors. There's a Tarasha chest. It still has attack speed in. Best case would be to have intelligence, vitality, elite damage reduction, or life, and then explosive blast damage. You don't need attack speed here. You can roll it off when you find a good one. But other than that, not so important. Belt is like this. Int wit, always life, perfect, but no pickup radius. You want pickup radius wherever you can get it. Remember that. Pants the same, it's perfect. Int wit, armor, physical resistance, and thorns damage. What the? Okay, and you want pickup radius instead of thorns damage here. Amulet of Tarasha looks like this. It's not a very good roll because it has low crit damage. Ideal case is an amulet with crit and fire damage, of course. Doesn't have to be ancient because for the T10 farming spec you will never use the Cultists and Despair and empower your items. This is completely unnecessary. It would be a waste of resources and time. So non-ancient with fire crit would be perfect. That's the Tarasha items. These are the Sage items. I use the Sage's gloves and boots because the boots replace the non-Tarasha set item basically, because those Nilfur's Boast boots, they basically belong to the Tarasha set, but they're not part of the set, so you can remove them and use the Sage's boots, and then you add the second item, either gloves or helm from the Sage's set. Just use wherever you have the better items. It doesn't matter. Then the shoulders, these ones here, corruption, pickup radius, that's the thing, secondary pickup radius, that's why, and those are best in slot here. And here I rolled cooldown reduction, not even maximum roll, I don't care for that, and explosive blast damage, same here, explosive blast damage. Braces, Warzichian for more speed, maximum speed actually is, these are perfect ones. Fire damage, int wit, crit chance, pickup radius, that's what you want. Rings, focus and restraint, these are bad rolls, like low rolls, 5% crit chance, not maxed crit damage, and main stat on them, you want to have crit and base damage, like here's 97 to 198. You want to have this damage roll on ancient ones or cooldown reduction on non-ancient, something like that. That's good. They all work pretty well, all efficient in T10. But the best case for mobility is probably to have crit cooldown, and the best case for damage is crit base damage. So whatever you like best is what wins for you. Then these were the items. Let's go to the cube. I do have Ingeom here in the cube. I also have the Nemesis Bracers here. And Ring of Royal Grandeur, of course. Okay, Nemesis Bracers, I love them. Nemesis Bracers are proccing elites on shrines, and you want that. You want it for Ingeom, you want it for the Death's Breath, so for me there's no way around that. Some people use, for example, the Cindercoat in the cube for cost reduction on Explosive Blast, then they can use the Arcanaut, Familiar Arcanaut, to have maximum mana all the time, not mana, arcane power. I don't like this option because then you lose Nemesis Bracers. Others use the Tarasha offhand, put in a Cindercoat as a chest, and then use, for example, the Gold Wrap belt. Where's that thingy here? Here, Gold Wrap that makes you immortal in Torment 10. But actually this is completely unnecessary. This is a waste of power, this is a waste of potential in my eyes, because you don't need to be immortal, you need to be tough so you can survive everything in Torment 10, and that's enough. Actually I have, you see here, 18.2 million toughness. With all the buffs up, with the Orb of Infinite Death and the Tarasha buff and the shield, I have like 80 million toughness. Yeah, that's true, 80 million toughness. And yeah, that's enough. I can tank 2 of those molten explosions when I'm getting hit by the third in a short time after that. I'm dying, but usually you move so fast that this doesn't matter. Just move fast and you don't die. That's it, basically. Everything dies so fast they can't even damage you, other than molten explosions, of course. Yeah, this is one of those options, but I honestly believe that this combination here is the strongest. It buffs your toughness, it buffs your damage, you get the increased Death's Breath drop rate. You don't lose anything when you lose meteor damage or the Nilfus boost, because as I said, those monsters are all dead before the meteors reach the ground. The only one that reaches the ground and does some damage is the lightning one, because it procs instantly, but it's really irrelevant. Okay, I was talking about the skills and stuff. Skills here, yeah, electrocute. I have electrocute, that's the lightning part. You know, Tarasha, for each stack of a different element that you do, you get 500% increased damage and also 25% increased all resistance. And you have to activate each element once, and then you can keep it up with the skills that you're using anyways, like here, Explosive Blast and Frozen Nova. Okay, Lightning Blast. Any generator or primary skill with lightning damage is good here, doesn't matter which one you use. Storm Armor Scramble for more movement speed, and doesn't add anything else. The damage is, yeah, it's damage, but irrelevant damage. Procs the lightning meteor from time to time, that's cool, but other than that, you don't need that. Yeah. And this movement speed, you don't have that up permanently, because most of those monsters can't even hit you in melee because they're dead before they can hit you. So yeah, you could theoretically remove it, but I don't know for what, because this is giving you movement speed overall, and so it helps. Teleport Calamity, of course, cool thing. It's for the arcane part of the Tarasha proc, and of course movement speed. Diamond Skin Prism, that's what's keeping your arcane power going. Explosive Blast, Chain Reaction, that's the damage dealer. There's also no alternative here. With Wand of Woe and all that stuff, it's really amazing, that damage. You have seen that, it's like, that's the Supernova. Frozen Nova, Frozen Mist, yeah, that's the cold part. No cost, no cast animation, and basically up permanently, instantly with the Ingeum proc, so that's basically the skill you want to have there, and it's perfect to have it. Passives, Audacity, 30% increased damage to enemies within 15 yards, so melee range. Conflag, increase your crit hit chance against monsters that have been hit by fire damage. You can argue about that because everything dies instantly, but there's no real good alternative for that slot. Then Evocation, cooldown reduction, of course. Illusionist, more movement speed, and sometimes you get teleport back up, but that's irrelevant in Torment 10. Okay, back to Conflag. We have some options like Elemental Exposure and Glass Cannon, but these are not real options, because Glass Cannon reduces your toughness. That's not so important, but the damage gain, it's not good. It's skill damage. Like, I put it here, and the damage shows up here. Damage increased by skills, but this damage is added to Explosive Blast damage. So in my case, with 30% Explosive Blast damage missing, it's already only half efficiency here, like 7.5% increased damage. And the crit chance from Conflag is at least the same damage, and it doesn't remove some of my toughness. And then Elemental Exposure, this stacks, you have to hit the monsters with all those elements, and then you have this 20% damage increase. However, the monsters are dead before you can hit them with everything, so it doesn't matter. It's a wasted skill slot if you use that, in my eyes. Conflag, you could use Dominance if you have survival issues, you can use Unstable Anomaly if you have survival issues. You can use Astral Presence if you don't want to use Arcane Power on Critical, as I have on my offhand. Here, I have Arcane Power on Critical, plus the Fire crit here, plus the little bit regeneration of arcane power on the Templar, and that's enough to keep my arcane power up at maximum all the time. And that's it for the build. I enjoyed that build. I hope you do as well, and farm some Death's Breath for you. Remember, you need Death's Breath because they don't drop in Greater Rifts, and the moment you start to only do Greater Rifts in the season or in the era, you will not get new Death's Breath, and until then you want to have the maximum of Death's Breath that you can get. Alright, hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye, see you next time.